You know that kind of pain that just comes from somewhere, that just rips your whole soul apart? When you don't know if it's your stomach or your heart or your lungs, but it's coming from somewhere around here, and it's all in once. It's as if it was butterflies, negative butterflies, and you feel like you have trouble breathing and you feel like you want to throw. That kind of pain that makes you scream. Yeah, it's that kind of pain that I'm talking about. That, for as long as I can remember, I wanted to just get rid of it. To just, you have this feeling, can you visualize it? Can you visualize the table with food or a bunch of like stuff on the table, and your soul just wants to put it all on the floor and reverse the table, just like Jesus did in the temple? That's how it feels. You just want to take it out. And I wanted to do that for as long as I can remember, every time, but those days God was like saying to me, hey baby girl, that's normal. And we should, and I want to spread this message as well, that we should normalize emotions in order to eliminate them in a cultural, social sense. Deal with emotional trauma, mental trauma, abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse that people have been putting us through, or we put ourselves into a situation. And I want to tell you today that this actually is a blessing to go through this, and let me explain to you why. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably, tenderly to her. When you neglect God sometimes and live your own life and are are in this situation when you wanna do things your way, and you're like, I need to do this, I need to do this. You have a lot of to-do list, you have a lot of projects and personal goals and all that is really nice and really good, but sometimes you forget, in the busyness of life, you forget to listen to God and what He wants actually. And that's when the hit comes for whatever reason, and that's when God brings you into the wilderness on purpose, for you to open your heart and speak to Him finally. And I don't know if you notice too, as a Christian, that the more you're in pain, the more you're in doubt, the more everything's confused, the more you pray and the more you reach out for answers and seek answers and seek God. If I wouldn't have been through heartbreaks or pain, I wouldn't have like desperately tried to find God, try to like listen everywhere around me to see if God is speaking to me. I was attentive to every verse that was coming in my way, every video that was coming in my way, trying to like see what if God was trying to tell me something through this, or through what happened, or through somebody, or through the Bible. And I was like, my second eyes were open and always looking for God, and that's when He can speak to you. If you wouldn't have been through all that, what do you expect him to do? Like put like a shooting star in front of your face? You know, like, yes, God is doing that, and God is doing those little winks, you know. I can't wink, but you know, emotions are normal. That's what makes us human. You shouldn't apologize for it. And God is not a God of accusation. God is not a God of condemnation. That's the enemy's voice. God is not a God of guilt, fear, and every time you feel that, that's the enemy trying to confuse you. Emotions, God is okay with you letting out your emotions in a way or another. Feeling hate like David did, feeling betrayal like Job did in the Bible, Joseph, all those people, they express their hate, they express their feelings and emotions, and we're like, God, I feel in pain, I feel in terror, and God will never condemn you for doing that. So just let it out, put it out there, empty yourself from those emotions in a way or another, so to leave space for God to fill you in with new stuff. And I'm telling you, the principle of double portion in the Bible is true, 100%. For every tear, for every shame, for every humiliation that you've received, there's a double portion of blessing and of joy that is right there, set apart for you, but you are blocking the blessing sometimes without acknowledging, without believing it, without wanting it, without asking for it. There is a double portion. Those people who've been through shame, who've been through humiliation, and who cried out will be more blessed than those who didn't, because God is a God of grace, and the more you suffer, the more the blessing that comes. So that's why suffering is so crucial in humanity, and is so, you have to go through this if you want to reach the blessing. Like, they made quotes out of it nowadays, like even in the non-Christian world. The peace after the storm kind of thing, it quotes with that. That is true. And please, especially in these times of confusion, I promise you, you'll see God make a miracle. You'll see God bring double portion of happiness as you didn't expect at all. And I know it's hard when you're going through this dark valley, through this sorrow and through this pain. I know it's not easy, and you don't see any light, but that's why God put you there, to reach out to him, to build that connection. God is a jealous God. When he doesn't get your attention, or you speaking to him through prayer, he gets jealous. He wants you to talk to him. And he will make you talk to him sometimes if he has a plan for you, and he doesn't want you to miss out the plan. Therefore, he'll have to bring that sorrow and pain, so you wake up and be like, God, what do you want me to do? And that's when he will speak to you. So that's why I want to encourage you to not feel afraid of pain. A friend of mine said that pain is what did he say? Pain is sign of progress. Well, it wasn't that long time ago, but at that time, for a second, I was like, honey, pain can be avoided if you're strategic. You know, I was like, you can avoid it. I thought, like, at that time, I thought that yeah, but pain is a sign of progress, but pain is also cutting your legs sometimes and putting, like, you have less confidence and less trust in yourself sometimes if you don't know how to handle it, and if you don't know how to, as I said, take the best out of it and build hope and build faith and build relationship with God. If you don't know how to do that, pain can destroy you. Like people who have been weak in cultural, societal terms, and who've been through stuff, like life has like smashed them to the wall, and sometimes they don't have the strength to lift themselves up again. We're not powerful, you know. And some people just stay in the mess and stay in that same pain and loop on and on again with the words of confusion from the enemy who's keeping them there and down there. But that's why it's progress when you actually involve God in it, and when you can count on him to lift you up from that pain and learn something from it, because there's always something to learn from it. And that's the very reason we go through trials, so God can mold us and shape us. You know, I received a word the other day. It was something that the Lord will never pick those who've been, the Lord will always pick those who've been tossed down, stepped on, walked on, broken. And he will never pick the ones who are perfect and think they have their life figured out. He will not pick those people to use them. Why? Because those people are not moldable. They won't learn what God wants them to learn. But if you've been broken and stepped on and vulnerable, and it just brought you on your knees and made you humble again, that's when God can teach you, and that's when you can learn and grow, and God will speak to you about what you're meant to do for the next steps. And this spoke to me a lot because 6 years ago I received a promise from God, and I'm still waiting on it. And I don't know when it will happen, which shape it will happen and all that, but I saw a video. Shannon, I think it's her channel name. She's been waiting on a promise like that from God for 11 years. God gave her a promise 11 years ago, and only this July it happened, and she held on to it. You know, that's why God puts like seeds sometimes, details. That's why you need to pay attention to the details that you see, because this is how God is installing something in your heart and help you hold on to something, to get you out of the pain at the necessary moment. Or I will make another video about how to know if you're hearing God or if it's your own thoughts, to make the difference between those two. And yeah, I really hope this encouraged you to find peace in the storm and find peace in this challenging times that we're going through, all of us. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.